Okay, so for the last section, I'm going to talk about waste bookings and the household waste site. So this one hit us fast, and we had to turn something around really, really quickly. So to set the scene, let's take you back to 2020, when we were all living at home, drinking a lot, me as one of those people. Lockdown's in full swing, and everyone had decided at that point, because they were all in their houses, they were going to have a clear out. So Marie Kondo would have been really proud of everybody as a nation, but then that started to cause a few problems. We needed to reopen our waste sites safely, and to do that, we were going to implement a booking system, but we weren't just going to do it for the Medway waste sites, we were going to do it for the Kent waste sites too. So we have 3 waste sites here in Medway, and Kent at that time had 18. So we were like, yeah, challenge accepted. Why not? Let's give it a go. So we already had a light touch booking system for our vans, because here at Medway, at that point, it was the only thing that you needed to book in to come and visit our waste sites in, was a van that had to meet certain criteria on the list. Now what we were doing was we were including cars, both from Medway and from Kent, and Kent had different requirements for their van bookings and their vehicles to enter their waste sites. So we had an awful lot of requirements to gather, and we were doing this all virtually on Teams, sat outside in our gardens, feet in swimming pools, maybe with a glass of wine in hand. I know Jade definitely did, because I definitely did as well. So this quote haunted me for about 18 months here at Medway, because we literally did 5 months' worth of work in 5 weeks. We were coached expertly by the team at Jadu on system bookings, booking waiting, concurrency, blah, 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 lots of stuff that it just completely goes over my head. So I've had a bit of a brain glitch and was talking to our head of service at the time and let that quote slip out my mouth that went then to our CEO, that went then like organisation-wide, and the expectation then was from that point onwards, we could turn things around that quickly all the time. So they don't let me out in public a lot now because of those kind of things. So while I'm proud of what we achieved, it put a lot of pressure on us as a team, and it was a very small team at that point. Jade had joined from originally the comms team and moved into service design. I'd moved in from waste services. There was talk about redeploying people back out to their previous roles because we didn't think that digital was going to be a big thing during the pandemic, and we were proven very, very wrong. So what made it possible was a lot of wine. I do drink a lot of wine, by the way, but also the Jadu system. So as you can see, and I've shown you this already, that's the Jadu Labs extension showing us the booking process and the way that the whole thing interconnects. And those are I think those are the rules. Yes, rules and emails that were being sent. So using the Jadu platform with the website and the forms and the case management system, it meant that we were really able to rapidly kind of scale up our booking system that we'd already got for our vans. It meant that we only needed to really tweak the forms that we had online to start then incorporating the Kent waste sites in there. We also learned an awful lot about Office 365 integrations and how to hook up calendars and do things that we never ever thought that we would have to do. So we scaled it across 22 sites with different requirements, and we had automated booking lists that were being emailed out to waste sites across Kent. So from CXM or Connect, we were sending out the booking CSV files every single morning so that Kent waste sites knew who was going to be visiting at what time. Whereas Medway had third-party access in, so they were using the Connect platform to see who was coming in at what specific times. We were also sending out automated emails. So the pandemic threw other problems to us, which was we had to close the sites at last minute because of staff self-isolating. They weren't able to open away sites because somebody had tested positive and then couldn't come in. We had to do cleaning. There were power cuts happening. There was operational problems that we had where we couldn't get containers out so that we couldn't accept additional waste. And that meant that we had to find a way to send automated messages to literally hundreds of people and say, please don't come to the waste site today, you're not going to be able to, or divert to another waste site. What we were able to do with the emails in that was to set up some rules so that we could meet some conditions. So I think we've kind of fudged it a little bit because we weren't very clever at this point with the Connect product, was that if it hit a certain time on a day and the booking was in a certain status and it was given X waste site's name, it would then send out thousands of emails saying, please don't come to this site. But then we linked back to the customer booking form that said, when the sites are open, please use this form to rebook your visit. And that worked really well. So we send out a survey annually to our waste site residents here at Medway, and we consistently get 72% or above approvals on the fact that they like using that booking system to visit the waste site, which I think is quite big, because previously, before then, it was a free-for-all and you could come in whenever you wanted to. So in 2022, Kent then went and acquired their own booking process and piece of kit, which meant that they had to be removed from our booking system. If we were doing this in the old traditional ICT project sense, that probably would have caused us quite a lot of headaches. But actually, what we were able to do was take out the form that was publicly accessible and accessible to our colleagues within internally, and copy and paste it, and then remove the parts that we didn't need, test it, and then have it redeployed quite quickly. So it meant that there was minimal downtime for our customers. We weren't impacting the waste sites operationally, and we were able to keep things moving as smoothly as we possibly could. And then, I think that, yeah, sorry. The notes have gone from here completely now. So where we've been is that when we initially set up the waste site booking, there was a 2-day lead time on booking, so you could only book up to 2 days before the day that you wanted to book into, and that was to give our teams time enough to triage those bookings, make sure that the people were eligible to come in, because we also had some interesting rules about the fact that you could only go in once a week or something like that. So there was a whole lot of different kind of requirements around that. But then what we've done now is we've got same-day bookings. So at the moment, you're able to book up to 4 hours before you want to go into the waste site. And in the next couple of months, we're hoping to make that a completely live and seamless system where you'll be able to book and then go and visit the site within 5 or 10 minutes. We are going to start leveraging the DVLA API checkups that we've got with the nuisance vehicles. So the idea is that we'll be launching a better booking system using the My Medway account, which is the Connect account, so that customers will be able to put in all of the registration vehicles of the vehicles that they own, check those vehicles against the DVLA. The system will then say whether or not they meet the eligibility criteria to go in. So we'll start removing triage requirements from our waste services team, who have to go through and manually look and check that each of those vehicles is eligible to enter the site. So that's for our commercial and our van vehicles. And then one step further from that, we do have AMPR at the sites. So we'd like to leverage that so that residents can book in, say what vehicle it is they're appearing in. They'll pull up to the gate, the barrier will automatically open, and they'll be marked as having attended the site. So that is hopefully where we will be before the end of 2025. And I've said that out in public now. That's all on me. And that is, you'll be very pleased to know, me. Thanks.